All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope that you've had a wonderful day so far. I am excited about my guest tonight. So excited that we were going to do a coming to the stage, and we decided to just have her on the stage already. So, first, let's go as we always do. Still say a prayer for the people that have been in the path of all the storms just lately. Folks still don't have power, don't have water, don't have what they need. So let's continuously stay in prayer for those folks that are dealing with all those things. Let's stay in prayer for the people that are still fighting COVID. You know, we have a lot of people still in the hospital. Arkansas is one of those places where our ICUs are almost all full. We don't have a lot of beds available for folks. So just, be prayerful about that. It is real. People are losing their lives. And, we just got to be more careful. We got to still wear our masks. You still need to social distance, wash your hands. And I think the ongoing joke from the beginning of the pandemic to now is that we have to actually tell people to wash their hands. We learned that in kindergarten, at least most of us did, I hope. But still, make sure that you're washing your hands, you're keeping your distance, you're wearing your mask when you have to go out. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. We don't want your cooties, and we wouldn't want your cooties if we were not in a pandemic. But still, make sure that you take care of yourself and take care of your family and do those things that are going to keep you safe. In case you don't know, and this is your first time visiting, I'm Wonder Lowe. I'm the host and the creator of the Ladies Lounge with Wonder Lowe. So that's why my name is in it, because it's it's my show. So I put my name in there so y'all wouldn't get confused and think it was somebody else's Ladies Lounge. It's mine. But make sure that you go to the Facebook page and you like us and that you share and that you also follow, and then make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe, hit that little button and subscribe, and then also hit the little bell so that you'll know when new shows are posted to YouTube. And I've been saying this for the last couple of months, y'all. I promise I'm going to work on the YouTube part of this a little better, a little more. Be honest with y'all, between my schedule and what I have going on, some days it's enough for me to be able to put some face on, comb my hair, and get on this one. So just takes me a little bit more to get to those other pages and work on those and build those up. But continue to support, continue to like, and continue to share and follow. I also have an Instagram page. And all the names to all my social media is the Ladies Lounge with Wonder Lowe. So any of them you see, just go ahead and like, share, follow, and I'd appreciate that. So, not going to give you just a whole long intro tonight because I want to get to my guest, and I want to make sure that she has enough time to tell you about her. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of her bio because she has a very interesting bio, and then I'm going to let her tell you something about herself. So, I don't know how many of you all have written a book or thought about writing a book, or you walk by a book, or you have a book, but it's a book somewhere in your life. And you've been talking about, well, I got this story, I want to tell it, but I'm not sure how to tell it. I admire anybody that can sit down and write their thoughts and write them in such a way that I want to pick them up and read them. And I love reading. I've been off my game here for the last couple of years because I normally average about 150 to 160 books a year. And I've been off my game for a while, so I need to get some good new stuff to read. And this young lady has something I want to read. So now she's over there. You can go ahead and wave at him, Sharon. I want to introduce you all tonight to Sharon Keathley. Sharon is an Arkansas native, and she recently relocated to the beautiful Ouachita Mountains with a breathtaking view, perfect for writing. So that's going to be great. She's a fiction writer working on expanding the Olivia Samuels crime drama series and mastering the technological aspects of publishing along the way. So you just taking it all on. You doing the writing and the publishing, everything.
I am, Wonder. I am trying.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. So as a nursepreneur, yes, she totally made that word up. I love it. Well, we're mompreneurs and we're other womenpreneurs, so you could be a nursepreneur. That works for me.
Exactly.
Exactly. And she's the owner of a medical consulting company. Sharon brings her extensive medical experiences and knowledge into the very essence of the plots and souls of the characters, creating true-to-life drama and suspense. Love it. Sharon loves water views, empowering women, time with her family, and is constantly reaching out to learn new things. I am so happy to welcome you tonight, Sharon, to the Ladies Lounge. And we have to always say thank you, Fanae, because Fanae Wicks is my buddy. And for Nay,
Renee Wicks is the bomb. She is the bomb, I tell you.
yeah.
But thank you,
Mhm.
Wonder, for having me here. I was so excited when I got this opportunity. I just feel so blessed to be here, and I appreciate it more than I can ever tell you. So
Mhm.
thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Oh, you are more than welcome. So tell us more about the Nursepreneur and tell us more about what you got going on. What about your life?
Well, I've had a long life, I tell you. I'm getting my
That's a good
Medicare card
thing.
pretty soon, so I'm excited about that.
Mhm.
But no, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 40 plus years, and I started my career in the operating room. Absolutely loved every second that I was there. It was the place that I felt the most comfortable. It
Mhm.
had energy, it had excitement, and yet there were times when it was just kind of regular pace. But it was always the unexpected that
Mhm.
you didn't never knew what was going to come through the doors in the operating room, and I just love that. I love the anticipation and the fast paced aspect of that. So
Mhm.
I worked in the operating room for a good number of years. And then after I left there, I did some various different types of nursing, which at that time, I wasn't sure why I did so many, but now I think it all brought all of it compounded together to
Mhm.
help me be able to open my own consulting business because it
Okay.
gave me a huge background of different information. So it was really interesting. In 2003, I was working for a company, not really satisfied with with my work that I was doing there because it was limited. It was kind of forced to be something that I was not always comfortable doing.
Mhm.
So I thought, well, I could probably do this on my own. And I went to the Small Business Association and I took classes. I went back to college and I've almost got a business degree along with my nursing degree,
Mhm.
and just delve kind of dove into what do I need to do to be able to open this business.
Mhm.
And in 2003, I opened MedComp South, and that has been my baby ever since. And it
Okay.
has sustained me and two kids and got us through a lot of years and has turned out to be a very successful company. I'm
Mhm.
very, very proud of the work that I do there. And, you know, being your own boss, it's kind of like you have the authority to serve your patients and serve your referral base the way you feel like they need to be served. You're not
Mhm.
limited in production or um, wasting hours or whatever. I can choose to do what I want to do. So I'm really excited about that. And
Mhm.
you know, as time went on, I'm still working full time in that business.
Okay.
And as time went on, you know, you start thinking about retirement, and I have retirement and I have things in place for that, but
Mhm.
what to do after you retire kind of thing. So I wanted to start a blog. I love skincare, and I just wanted to start a blog on helping ladies, particularly mature ladies like me,
Mhm.
salvage some of the skin that we still have because you know, when we were growing up, my people my age, we didn't have a huge store of skincare products
No.
that you could choose from. All
Mhm.
we had was a few little things on the shelf when you went to the grocery store or when you went to the discount store or even in the more populated, you know, more popular Dillards and things like that. There were skincare products, but you couldn't afford them.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like we missed out on all that. So, or at least the people I grew up with, we didn't have the luxury to have um, good quality skincare. So my whole focus at that point was to start a blog. That's all I wanted to do, teach people how to take care of their skin,
Mhm.
everything that was involved with that. And I did that for a little while. And I met this lady in my bloggers group. Her name was Kim McPherson,
Okay.
and she's an author. And she said, "Well, have you ever thought about writing a book?" And I was like, "No, no, I just want to write a blog. You know, that's all I want to do. I just want to write a blog." And she said, "Well, if you did write a book, what would it be about?" And I said, "Oh, it'd be a mystery because I'm
Oh,
a
wow.
connoisseur of mysteries. I love them. It's
Mhm.
just, I may have 6 books going at one time, depending on where I'm sitting or where I'm going, and audiobook in the car, and just depends." Um, and she said, "Well, you ought to do that. You ought to
Mhm.
bring that nursing background into that." And I was like,
Wow.
"Hmm, well, I don't know what that would look like, but yeah, maybe so."
Mhm.
So that's how that got started. And that was in the fall of 2019.
Okay. Okay. Now, since then, you've written how many books?
I am working on my 4th book now,
Okay.
and I've just really enjoyed this journey. My goodness, it's not been anything like anything I've ever experienced before. But I joined her author group,
Mhm.
Kim's author group, um, and learned the process of how to write,
Mhm.
and then how to put the pieces together. And I found out that I am what they call a pantser. I just
Okay.
kind of write as I go and
Mhm.
then piece it all together.
Oh,
Some people are very detail oriented. They want outlines, they want post it notes, they want things to help them organize.
mhm.
I'm not like that. I just write, and then I may have to go back and I may have to move this section over here or this
Mhm.
section over here, or totally get rid of this section or whatever. But it's been a real learning process. It's been a
Mhm.
real fun process. There hasn't been a day that I haven't enjoyed anything about the writing of the book. Now, the
Okay.
publishing and marketing, I can't say that, but but the writing itself, I've absolutely loved every minute.
Mhm. So, how do you come up with your characters?
Um, I have a huge medical background, so I have always been inspired by my patients.
Mhm.
My patients, the care of one patient will help me take care of another patient. What
Mhm.
I learned from this patient rolls over into, oh, I remember in 2011 we had this patient, and that information would flow over into what I was doing now. So I've always been inspired, and I've always wanted to share that information in a way that would help others.
Mhm.
Um, that you're I'm restricted by what I can share. I can't share patient information. I
Mhm.
can't share personal information about patients.
Yeah.
So, well, what I did was I took something that always amazed me. A young man that I worked with way back 2004, I think. It was early in my personal career
Mhm.
as an entrepreneur, nursepreneur. Um, it was early in that time frame. I had this young man who was a football player. He was
Uh-huh.
is between high school and college, and he was going off to play football, scholarship, the whole 9 yards. I mean, this was his ticket out. This was
Mhm.
his way to build a future. He was going to get a college degree. He would not have otherwise. And so that young man was working his way through the summer, waiting for summer practice to go to the college to
Mhm.
join in, preseason practice. And he was working and was injured at
Excuse me.
work. He got a head injury at
Oh,
work.
wow.
And it wasn't a horrible head injury, and it
Mhm.
should not have caused long lasting effects at all. So they were real surprised whenever he became real withdrawn and real depressed,
Mhm.
started having started withdrawing from everybody. I mean, he just kind of sat in his room and isolated himself out of fear. It seemed it was like nobody could reach him, nobody could get through to him. So my mission, my job, I was hired to find a psychologist or a psychiatrist or some way to help this gentleman deal with his with the depression that had developed after this injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I met with him 3 or 4 times, 2 or 3 times maybe, and the first time was kind of uncomfortable. The second time a little bit better, and the third time we were having a conversation. I mean, it was like I was surprised because he hadn't had conversations with too many people. So I was kind of surprised. But so I asked him, I said, why is it that you can carry on a conversation with me, but not even with your own family?
Wow.
I don't understand that. I'm trying to, but I don't understand that. And it took a while to dig it out of him. But finally he said, Miss Sharon, he was just everything. You could just feel it in him. He was so relieved to be able to tell somebody something.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Miss Sharon, you don't have colors. And I thought, what? What does that mean? I didn't know. I didn't know what that meant. And I said, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you mean. You're going to explain that to me because I'm not following what you're saying. And he said, ever since I had that injury, I see colors around people, and it absolutely is driving me crazy. He said, they flicker and they flash and they morph. And he was like, doing this. And he said, I can't deal with it. He said, I can't separate the colors from the people. And I thought, oh, okay. I've never heard that before.
That's interesting.
I told him, I said, I'm going to find an answer for you. I don't have an answer, but I'm going to find an answer. And we're going to get you help. We're going to figure out what this is, and we're going to work through it. And, come to find out, that's a real thing. It's called synesthesia, and it's a real thing. And when he was hit on the head, it messed up his neurons somehow. And the path that his visual senses usually took went different, just went haywire. People have auditory synesthesia. They have all different kinds. Like people can hear a word like Monday and see a color, or they can hear a musical note and see colors. It's not as rare as one might think, but people don't talk about it because it's not normal. So they don't want to talk about it. Well, this little guy, it took him a few months. He didn't get to go to college. He didn't get to go play football. He didn't get to live out his dream because of this. But he did find a way to start working into it. I don't know how it turned out for him. And I always wondered that. And I think that's what kind of inspired me to do this, because I always thought back, what if he could see what people think? What if those colors were people's reactions? What if? I just kind of let my own imagination work into that. And I gave that sense, that injury, that synesthesia, I gave that to my detective. And I am honing her senses into becoming a great detective. So
that is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, when you first said, the first thing that popped in my head when you're saying that he could see all of the colors, that maybe the colors represented that person's personality, whether or not they were good or evil.
I believe. Well, that's what my detective is. I mean, that's what she does. So I didn't get to work with him long enough to know more about that, but I always wondered, and I always thought how cool that would be to find out exactly how that works, because I've not I've not had another patient with it.
Wow.
Um, I have had people tell me since they've read the book,
Hmm.
um, that, oh, my niece did this, or my daughter has this, or my grandfather used to say he could see that. I mean, I've heard people talk
Wow.
about it, but I've not experienced myself. But it's just an amazing disease, I guess. It ends up to be a phenomenon, is what it's
Yeah,
usually
it is.
called, to have. So I have captured that in my books, and that's what I'm trying to do with Olivia, is to bring that situation, that phenomenon, to the
Mhm.
public so that more people are aware of it and can feel freer to talk about it.
That
Because
is interesting.
yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was a different sort of thing that most people don't know about. And if they do know about it, or if they have it, they don't really want to talk about it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Well, don't want to get in the way that he had to get it because he had an injury. But that would be pretty cool if you could see people's colors. Real, that if you saw a color and it represented whether or not that person was good or evil or their personality, it told you something about them.
Mhm. Or
That
if they're lying to you as a
exactly.
detective, that's a real important thing, if somebody's telling you the truth or not, that's
Mhm.
important. So, in Olivia's situation, her biggest problem is trying to find the proof to prove what she knows is fact.
Mhm.
Because sometimes just because you know something doesn't mean it's going to stand up in a court of law. It just means that
That's
you need to find that proof. But at least it gives her a direction to go. So it's
true.
just been real fun, and it's been interesting learning about the colors. I've done a lot of research. I've dug really deep into colors. I've talked with psychologists about how those colors affect different people, and you've always talked or heard people say, well, I'm a red, or I'm a yellow, or I'm a green,
Mhm.
and what exactly does all that mean? So I've
Mhm.
kind of dug deep into that and tried to utilize those colors to bring those personalities into that person that she's talking with, or interviewing, or whatever. So
Okay.
it's just been kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Cool. So now, what's the detective's name?
Olivia Samuels.
Okay. Now, how did you come up with that name?
When I was little, I wanted my name to be Olivia. Tell you the truth.
Okay.
That's the absolute truth. I wanted my name to be Olivia. I
Uh-huh.
don't know where that came from. I can't remember why I wanted it,
Wow.
but I did. And then Olivia on SUV,
Mm-hmm.
the
Law and Order.
SVU, yeah, Law and Order, SVU. She's a detective, so I thought, well, that's my detective, Olivia.
That's all right. See, now I don't feel so bad. See, as a kid, I wanted to be a twin, and that
You
never
see,
happened, of course. But
there you go. We all want something different.
that's pretty good. Now, your genre is what more? Is it suspense, mystery? What's your writing genre?
It's crime mystery, or crime drama, mystery, cozy mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And my books are perfectly good for teenagers. They're perfectly good for the young adult.
Mm-hmm.
They're great for people like me, my age, that just want to be able to read something fast paced that happens quickly.
Okay.
It's a page turner. You don't have much downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just really happens really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, all of my books, I have 3 that are out right now. All 3 of them combined together took place in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So It's very fast paced. Everything, and in the real world, can she solve a crime in 3 days? Probably not.
Uh-huh.
But in my book, she can.
Okay.
So I'm taking a lot of leeway in doing this the way I want to do it. So
Well, we're women. We can do things in 3
that's
days.
right.
So,
We're pretty fast.
yeah. So now, would it be good to read them in a certain order, or how would you recommend if we wanted to read them? How would we read them?
Well, it is a series,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just picked up one and you had no intention of ever reading another one, no, you don't have to read them in order. Book number 3 references some things in book number 1 and 2, but it was just last week in the book. It was last week, so it's just a reference as to last week when I was working on that one situation. But it doesn't have anything to do with the plot, the story that's happening in book 3 or book 2. But there's some reference. I tried to make sure that if somebody ever picked up one, maybe they grabbed one on the way to the airport, or maybe they grabbed one to read at the beach, and it wasn't one, two. I tried to make it a standalone book because I think that's real important. But at the same time, if you've read 1, 2, you want to read 3. You got to see what happens next. So it's kind of cool.
I have to read them in order.
A lot of people do. And if you do plan to read all of them, then it makes more sense to read it in order. But definitely, if you just picked up one to take on vacation or something, it would be great all by itself.
Okay. Now, what's the name? You have a copy of them with you, don't you?
I do.
Just tell us the names of each one of them.
The first one that I wrote was Colors of Deceit. Colors of Deceit. This is my baby. This was all out here. That people either love it or they won't. And if they do, I'll do more. And if they don't, that's okay. I've had my moment. I've gotten it out. I've done what I want to do. So Colors of Deceit was number 1.
Okay.
And I just really enjoyed writing that, but I could not wait to get to Colors of Trust. I just could not wait. This is by far, I think, the most action book. And in Colors of Deceit, I had to bring in my operating room experience.
Okay.
In Colors of Trust, there's something medical in all of my books. I mean, it's going to be a medical something. A lot of medical in Colors of Trust. So that was a good baby for me too, because I enjoyed writing about those things. But by far, Colors of Justice.
All right.
Is probably my favorite for right now.
Let's say for right now. Until 4 is out.
But yeah. So it's been a good journey, and all of them are about 300 pages.
I was going to ask you how long are they, because they look kind of thick.
Yeah, they are. They're about 300 pages. They're about 50, 60 chapters each.
Oh wow!
Oh no, this one's 79.
Wow.
So, but I intentionally do short chapters so that if you only have 10 minutes, you got time to sit down and read a chapter.
Okay.
If you only have a few minutes, you can thumb through that chapter pretty quickly. So I did that on purpose. I love to read, but I got to get to the end of the chapter, and sometimes you don't have that much time. So I intentionally made it where you would have time. If you've got a few minutes, you've got time to read a chapter. So
that's pretty good. Now, one of the viewers was saying, she said she's always wanted to write a book and she loves series and will read them in order. Me too.
Me too. Me too.
She likes big books. Now, I'm one of those people that when I start reading, I read till I get to know the character. And then I give the characters voices in my head. I don't know if that means I got some kind of issue or not.
No, it
I
doesn't.
get into my story, and
I think,
yeah,
I
that's
think
all I
that's
do.
normal because you want to be able to express whatever they're saying in the way that you think that they're going to express it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, and I do that even with TV shows. When I watch certain stuff, I like to watch a series because I like to watch what happens next. And then you get to know your characters and you get to know the personalities. And like I said, I give them voices. So by the time I finish that book, I know these folks very well.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm excited about them, and I love where it's going. I love where Olivia's personality and where her abilities are going. And I'm excited for this next book because I'm going to bring it up a notch.
Okay.
And while I don't necessarily have a lot of knowledge or background, or maybe not even a lot of belief in the psychic world, maybe is the way I should say it, I do believe in synesthesia. And I do believe that there are instances where things occur in your mind that you don't always have an explanation for. So I'm digging into that a little bit deeper, and I'm hoping to give her not more abilities or not more senses, but a more understanding of how to put the senses that she has into better use, or to better understand how she can use them to help people.
That is cool. So now I want to get the books. So tell us now, how do we get copies of your books?
Well, they're on Amazon right now. Right now, that's the only place that they are. And then I have copies as well. So because I knew that I was coming for your show, I have gone into Amazon and I have reduced the price of the first book in the series. The Kindle version is typically $4.99, so I've reduced that price to $2.99 for your viewers, for your readers, listeners, however you say that. And then if anyone wants an autographed copy, a copy of the book on Amazon is $13.99, and I will mail you out an autographed copy if you want for $15, and that'll help me a little bit on postage.
I'll take my autographed copy, please, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely. Just message me your address, and I'll be happy to get it to you.
Okay, I definitely want to read it. Now, I'm curious because I want to see how she uses, it's synesthesia, right?
Synesthesia.
I want to see how she uses it in the book to solve the crimes. That's going to be really interesting to me.
Well, I've taken leeway with it. I doubt that too many people that actually have synesthesia would agree with everything that I have said, because it affects different people different ways. So, and we don't know the extent because people don't really talk about it. They don't really want to be known as that psycho over there who sees colors. They don't want that stigma, so they don't say anything.
Wow.
And it's really sad because it's true, and people with conditions need to be able to seek help and seek guidance and understanding of how that affects other people. So, I'm hoping that people who read the book will at least be able to say, hey, my aunt so-and-so had that. I'm going to talk with her about this and let her know that it's okay to seek help, to try to find somebody that can help you deal with these emotional things that come along with that.
That, you know what, and I was thinking about what you were saying, that people probably don't want other folks to know that they have that. Think about how long it took that young man to open up to you to even say that's what's going on. and how hard that has to be, because and he said he couldn't separate the people from the colors.
And he would never have said anything to me if he saw colors around me. But he didn't. And I don't know why he didn't.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And I still don't know why he didn't. So when my detective meets her man that she's gonna have her fall in love with, when she meets him, she doesn't see colors around him. So
maybe the colors represent confusion.
Maybe so. And
maybe that's why he couldn't tell everybody else, because his family is probably, you know how people just constantly ask you what's wrong?
Right.
And maybe that was why it was the colors were drowning out stuff. And maybe because you were calmer, he didn't see the colors on.
That very well could be. And
you want to go
know, but I always wondered about that. And it was just, now that I'm writing about it and learning more about it and doing more and more research about it, some of the things that he said and did make more sense to me now than they did then, because then I just thought, okay, you don't see colors around me, okay.
Was it, wait a minute, now what's wrong? Why don't I have colors?
Exactly. I didn't know if I should feel offended or happy or.
I don't want to be left out. Why don't I have colors?
Exactly.
Well, maybe look at the colors. You know what? If you think about it, what was this I was watching? Oh, I watched cooking shows a lot. And it's weird how different things trigger different reactions in people.
Yes.
And it's something similar to this, but not the exact same thing. But the guy had the other guy tasting chocolate. He gave him 2 pieces of chocolate, and each time he played a different piece of music with it. And he told, at first when he said, oh, it was sweeter, it tasted this, I tasted this. He had all these different, things that he said he tasted. Well, he gave him another piece of chocolate, and he played a different piece of music with it. He was like, oh, the chocolate was bitter, and what it was a totally opposite answer. And he said, let me tell you a secret. He said, what? He said, it was the same chocolate. Only thing I did was change the music. And I went, now that's interesting.
That really is, isn't it? That's how your brain works.
Yeah, just something, and maybe that's how the colors work. Something as simple as a person being calm maybe has a calming color.
Maybe so.
And an excited person, I don't know, when I think of excitement, I always think of red. It always pops in my head, red and green. Yeah. I always see red and green as being excited colors, and I say blue is being a calm color. Don't know why, just do.
Well, but that's what you feel. And I think it's different for different people. I really do, because when you were talking about the chocolate, it reminded me that there's studies that I've learned this recently too, that, when you smell something, you have like a childhood memory. Like lavender reminds some people of a flower bush that grandma had outside, or, you could walk into a room and smell barbecue cooking on the grill, and it reminds you of Uncle Joe's whatever barbecue that it's just how smells and things can trigger a certain memory long ago. And I know hypnotists use that a lot when they're trying to bring out a memory for someone. They can use different odors for that. So the brain is a really unique thing to each of us, but yet as a whole, it's such an interesting tool that all of us have. And I just think if more people who experience synesthesia could know that, hey, it's okay. You're not abnormal. No. It's just something that you're experiencing. Then I think that the awareness of it is important enough for me to do this. So,
I am excited. I'm glad that this is something. Now, it's sad that he experienced this, but I'm so glad that he had you there to kind of help him figure out what it is. And then now you're using that to educate. And I look at it this way. Your book is not only going to be entertaining, but it's educational. Because you're teaching us about something that we didn't know anything about.
I have had reviewers, like on Amazon, the reviewer section down there, that have said not only entertaining but also educational.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. So
So you now, who created this word? Oh my God, it was somebody I used to work with a long time ago. So you've done some edutainment.
yeah, I guess so.
You are an what now? Let's see if I can say it right. An edutainer, educating entertainer. That's what I'm trying.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's gonna be. Now I'm excited. I'm ready to get my book and read because I want to see how this works out. I want to see, how this she used those senses. And you think about something, but you said about memories being tied to smell. Everybody knows. Oh, today is officially the first day of fall, so I am pumpkin spiced out.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go.
Yeah, it is
exactly right.
At certain times of the year, I have to smell certain smells.
When Christmas comes, you'll want cinnamon and peppermints and.
No, Christmas comes, it has to be orange cranberry.
Well, see, there you go. Orange cranberry.
I have to have my orange cranberry. Yep, and I'll do a little bit of cinnamon. Now, oddly enough, I don't like apple pie smell, which is weird. I don't like apple pie smell. Don't know why.
That's unusual.
Don't know why.
And I don't like chocolate smell, so it's.
Oh my God, like chocolate.
I know. That's kind of weird.
Yep, it is because now see, most people love apple pie. Most people love chocolate. I'm just that now apple pie, if it's mixed with pumpkin, I can handle. It's just something about straight apple pie smell. I just cannot. It just doesn't.
Exactly. It's just different for different people.
Stick right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So till December 1st, I'll smell like pumpkin spice.
There you go.
December to January, I'll smell like cranberry orange, and then in January, January, February, and March, I have to smell vanilla.
There you go. Well,
so
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I have these smells that I have to smell certain times of the year. But then I think about growing up as a kid, and I don't know about everybody else, but fall has all the seasons have a smell to me.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that I can remember doing as a little kid, and that smell stuck in my head. So in springtime, there's a smell. When it's wintertime, there's another smell. I love wood burning fireplaces. I love the smell of wood.
Too.
Yeah, it's calming for some reason. Now, my weirdest smell thing is I actually like to smell
gunpowder, firecrackers.
No, gunpowder. I'm a shooter. So.
Are you? My husband and daughter shoot, or they have in the past.
So I like gunpowder smell for some odd reason. And my husband bought me a left-handed rifle this year so I can go deer hunting.
Oh, cool.
Now, my guess is, here's what's going to happen. Number one, I'm going to fall asleep in the deer stand. Number two, I'm probably going to snore and scare off all the deer. I may actually shoot one, but I'm probably going to cry if I do.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would.
I don't feel bad.
Target's one thing, but.
Yeah. But it's a real, I don't want to kill damaged folks.
Exactly.
I want to go, but I don't want to, But anyway.
We digress.
Yeah. Well, I am excited about your book. I'm excited about being able to sit down and read. They said Colors of Deceit, Colors of Trust, and Colors of Justice.
Yes.
All on Amazon, right?
All on Amazon. And number 4 is coming, hopefully before the end of the year. And one other thing for your viewers, I just entered a contest and actually won 3rd place.
Oh,
so
wow.
That book that short story, it's a 2,500 word short story, and it's called Breezeway. And I'm sharing it with anyone who wants it. It's a freebie. Has nothing to do with Olivia, nothing to do with synesthesia, but it is a kind of a cozy mystery. And I'm happy to share that. If anybody wants it, just say, yes, give me Breezeway in the comments, and I'll send you a copy. I can do that through Messenger.
Okay. Well, look, I'm finna say yes. Send me brief. It'll be in the messages.
All right. All right. Well, I'll go back and look at messages, and I will. If anybody wants one, I'm happy to share. It's the first contest I've entered, so I was flabbergasted and excited that I was able to place and see where it goes.
That is exciting. So I posted in the comments the names of the 3 books: Colors of Deceit,
Okay.
Colors of Trust, and Colors of Justice. And I said
Okay.
all on Amazon.
Okay.
So if you will, whenever we get off, then just go in the comments and post the discounts and stuff that you were talking about.
Okay.
So that way, if somebody's wanting to get one, they can. And I'm gonna make sure. Look, hold on, I did already say I'm getting my autographed copy. Hold on. Yeah, I already posted.
I'll send you one. Just message me your address.
Okay, I just want to make sure I put that in there so I don't forget mine, because I definitely want to read this. I'm excited to hear how Olivia uses her senses to solve cases and fight crime. That's cool to me. So that is good. And I like the fact
I've enjoyed it.
You made the character.
I just want to encourage everyone to pour your heart out into your words. Whether you publish or not doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a voice, and you can use that voice in any way you find that is beneficial for you. Sometimes just getting things out on paper can give you a whole new perspective about whatever it is that is either causing you grief or causing you excitement, or just putting your dreams down on paper can sometimes help you develop a way to achieve that dream.
Okay.
And I would encourage you to write. And Wonder, I can't wait to read your book, because I know you're going to have a great one, and I'm excited to see that. And if anybody needs any help, I mean, I'm not a coach by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll be happy to walk you through a process or to let you know what I've done to get through a particular area. Happy to share that information.
Great. I know that we have some writers in the making. Several people I've talked to over the last couple of years. I think we all had the same idea. Number one, we all thought we were supposed to write a 10,000 page novel. I think that's where we make our biggest mistake, is thinking it has to be this size, in order for us to do it. But just no. And just getting started, 100 pages here or there, however we can do it. I hope that everybody is taking what Sharon said to heart, just write. And I'm taking it myself because, again, I told you, my thing is just committing to sitting down and writing consistently, until I get it done. And not writing so much in those little spurts. And I told you I make my little recordings and my little notes, and then I lose half of them. I don't remember what part was supposed to go where. But just trying to work through that process. Real quick, because we didn't touch on this, but talk a little bit about the publishing side of it. And then we'll wrap up.
Man, the publishing side is a nightmare, especially for a non-techie person like me, because, I get through Facebook okay, and I probably could do Instagram. I have an account, and I could probably do that. But man, when you have to connect this, and this link has to work with this, it gets real techie for me. Now, for most people, it's a breeze. And, if you grew up with the internet, that's a different story than me, who didn't even have skincare growing up. So, it's a whole new world for me. But there's resources out there, and there's a lot of free platforms. Like I got the free MailChimp. I got the free KDP from Amazon. I got everything I got was free until I learned how to use each of them. And then I progressed up on the ones that I needed to a paid version of the ones I had to have a paid version of. And then YouTube is full of, what do I do? How do I link my campaign to my freebie? I don't know how to do that, but YouTube does. and they can
Mhm.
teach you how to do that. And
Mhm.
it was a learning process for me because I'm telling you, I was tech illiterate,
Mhm.
and now I can sit down with my MailChimp and I can do emails and I can add to and I can create a new campaign and I can do things with it now that I could not do before. Didn't even know it existed before. So it's a learning process, but I was saying my books are only on Amazon right now, and
Okay.
that's true. But there's a thing called publishing wide. Even if you're a self-publisher, you
Mhm.
can publish wide and you can go on Barnes and Noble and Walmart and Target and all of these other places, storefront
Mhm.
stores as well as online. And then there are a million places where you can post your ebook online.
Okay.
So I'm learning all of that. And when I release my fourth book, I'm going to take all of them wide.
Mhm.
And that'll probably be after the first of the year when
Mhm.
I do that. So um, right now, they're just on Amazon. That's all my mental capacity can do. And there are different types of publishing. I'm a self publisher, but
Mhm.
there are, I mean, you can go the traditional publishing route as well and find an agent that can help you help publish your book.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't do that because I don't think at the time I had the confidence that my books would actually sell, and I didn't want to waste that time, effort, energy in I don't know. I think it was like I didn't want to be a disappointment, or
Mhm.
maybe I didn't want them to tell me no, I couldn't do it because my books stunk.
No.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know why, but
Mhm.
at that time, I had to make a decision, and I said, "No, I'm going to self-publish.
Okay.
I'll learn how to do it. I'm going to do it my way, and it may not be the right way, but it is for me." So
Mhm.
I think it's an individual choice that people have to make on their own. But for me, it worked best. And I was lucky enough that Kim McPherson with Bestseller Bound um, has a coaching class and has a coaching course uh,
Mhm.
that I could go through and learn the steps to do that. So, I've been blessed in many ways along the way because when I've stumbled, there's been somebody there to pick me up. There's
Mhm.
been something there to show me what to do next. And I have had so much support from my family and my friends that, you just can't lose when you have that. So, it may not be as fast as I could have gotten everything done,
Mhm.
but it was on my terms, and I'm very happy with the results right now.
Well, I'm happy. That sounds. Hey, sounds good to me. So I'm
I'm just
glad.
happy to learn MailChimp.
So
It
now
was,
you can teach me then.
it was crazy.
But yeah, so I'm excited. I sure appreciate all that you told us tonight because I think for those of us that are struggling, trying to get to even that, and like you said, to get to that confidence to even to finish writing a book or even get it published, you've given us some encouragement to go ahead and get that done. So I am excited about reading Colors of Deceit, or whichever one of you want to send me is fine. I'm excited about reading. I'm excited about reading more about now I can't say it, synesthesis,
Synesthesia.
synesthesia. And then I'm
Mhm.
excited just to read about Olivia because I'm like you, Olivia owns now I'm gonna say it wrong.
It's
SVU.
EU.
I don't know why we always want to say SUV.
I know
Oh, because it's a car.
because of the part. Yeah.
Like SVU is probably one of my favorite characters on television of all
Yes.
time. So I am
Yes.
excited to read the book. So Sharon, thank you so much. I so appreciate you coming on tonight, and thank you for Nate for
Yes. Thank you,
introducing me to
Fanny.
Sharon. Yeah, so she finally jumped on.
And thank you, Wonder, for having me here. I appreciate it so much. And I can't wait to get the book to you and hear what you think about it, and move on with number 4. I haven't even gotten a title for number 4 yet, but it's coming.
Well, I think you have it, and we'll be waiting to read. So whatever you come up with, we're going to enjoy it. Thank you again for coming. I appreciate you. Make sure that you post the information about where everybody can get the books from in the comments. And then thank you all for tuning in tonight. It has been a wonderful show. I've so enjoyed talking to Sharon. I hope that she has motivated you as well as she's motivated me. I might write something tonight.
Please do.
Now I want to. I mean, I actually can think of some stuff I can write tonight. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about getting your book and reading it and keeping up with Olivia Samuels and everything she's got going on. So thank you so much. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure that you come back next Thursday. I mean, not Thursday. Today Tuesday, y'all. I'm jumping ahead in the week. I'm sorry. No, come Thursday. That is what I was trying to say. Make sure you tune in on Thursday on my personal page, Wonder Lowe, and you can watch me cook. And I'll be making zuppa Toscana soup. Not going to tell you what it is. You got to show up and find out. And I also have a special guest with me that night. I have Michelle Katz. She's going to be talking about how we can eat more nutritious food and how we can control our sugar. So make sure that you tune in on Thursday for Mayrose Cafe Live on my personal page. And then make sure you come back here next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I'll have another great guest for you in the ladies' house. So again, Sharon, thank you so much. And stick around for just a second. I want to take a picture when we get off. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all watching tonight. Make sure that you come back. Make sure that you share and that you tag some folks. If you're interested in writing and you want to get more information from Sharon, make sure you send her a little message. You can post it in the comments. She's going to read them and she'll get back to you. So again, thank you, Miss Sharon. Stick around for just a second. And y'all have a good rest of the night. See y'all next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Bye.